the sticker on it. And Oklahoma wasn't too happy about that when they pulled me into the weigh station. It was about 11 o'clock at night. They pulled me in. I get the red light and I'm like, oh man, I got a red light. I haven't had a red light. Well, yes I have. Hey, all right. And welcome back to the channel. Tron Trucking, back at it. We're in Dallas and somebody's gonna come up on the side. Why every time I start recording, some wild stuff? I realize I can't say the R word or it turns off. But yeah, we're in Dallas. Got here, picked up dropped off at Continental. They didn't have an empty for me. I had to go back to the yard to get an IFTA sticker. That's a whole thing. All right, but we're getting on the toll today because we're going to Texarkana and we ain't got time for this. All right, let's get it. But yeah, so I had to go back to the yard to get an IFTA sticker, which is the fuel tax sticker. I had my permit, but I guess when they gave me the new truck, it didn't have the sticker on it. And Oklahoma wasn't too happy about that when they pulled me into the weigh station. It was about 11 o'clock at night. They pulled me in. I get the red light and I'm like, oh man, I got a red light. I haven't had a red light. Well, yes I have. And I was like, okay, well, my weight is good. I only had 18,000 pound load and I knew I was around 50,000 pounds. I was like, I should be good. I sat there and then that thing said, driver, come inside and bring your paperwork. And my heart started racing. I was like, what did I do? So yeah, they find the company, not me, but I'm partly responsible. But the truck did not have the IFTA sticker on there, and yeah, it was a $125 fine. Oopsie. But I've been driving like a month without it. I figured like they're gonna call me and tell me when the sticker's ready. I didn't know they had the stickers ready, like, but they ate it and they were like, that was part of the process of getting a new truck. We're supposed to make sure everything's ready before we gave it to you. And then I know my part. I know it's supposed to be on the truck. I've always known it's supposed to be on the truck. I just didn't know how to acquire it. And I didn't ask questions because lesson learned. But yeah, so I had to go back to the yard, get that. And then there were no empties there. So normally when there's no empties, I go over to Discount Tire, which is not too far away, and I get an empty. And my driver manager's like, stand by, hold that thought. So then I had to come all the way out to Fort Worth to get a empty, which added an hour to my time, which I had 4 hours remaining. See, like trucking, here we go again. I always say, like, don't plan too far ahead because there's gonna be things out of your control. So I had to go an hour west, pick up an empty, so that ate an hour, and then now I'm going 3 hours to Texarkana. Well, 3 hours and 5 minutes on the drive clock and 3 hours and 6 minutes on the GPS. So we're gonna take the toll and we're gonna eat it and go there. But yeah, it's been a rather good week. It's coming up on Veterans Day. A lot of places have, you know, deals for veterans. Shout out to all the veterans that are out there, past, present. Yeah, and if I will say this, because I always wanted to talk about this, if you are a veteran and you want to get into trucking and you are eligible for a GI Bill, Montgomery Bill, whichever one, and you still have time available, there are trucking companies like this one, J-Rail, that are VA approved, and you can use your apprenticeship, or you can do a military apprenticeship with the company, and you will receive the housing allowance for the area that that company is allotted. Like, for instance, you can look it up yourself, but I get Dallas's housing allowance. because that's where I joined for the company, and that's where I conducted my training. So yeah, and it does help stimulate, I guess, especially money. I guess if you just got out of the military and you're looking to get into trucking, I'm not gonna lie, cents per mile for over-the-road drivers can be very low for that first year, and depending on how much time you did in the military, you can, that might be a deterrent. Like, I want to make a little bit more than that. Well, there are a lot of companies out there that are VA approved, and it's no work on your part. I mean, you go and you register, and then the company submits the paperwork every month, and you'll get a notification saying that it was in, and you're good to go. And also, if you don't have your CDL, your GI Bill will pay for that as well. I went to Troops Into Transportation. It was completely free for me, but it was paid for by the VA. And then when you go to your trucking company, they will pay you, a lot of them will pay you a CDL reimbursement. And since you utilize your GI Bill, that's an additional money that you can get every month from your trucking company, as well as the VA paying you the housing allowance to stimulate your extra income. So, it's a win-win. And I know for being a veteran for 17 years, I know hands down, like, this is the easiest job I've ever had. I used to work at a jewelry store, and this is easier than that, simply because I don't have a boss. I don't have somebody breathing down my neck. Now, this company, I love it, so it's maybe different from others. But I'm the captain of this ship, Nobody tells me which way I can and cannot go, as long as it's en route to where I'm going. Nobody tells me when I need to shut down for the night. If I have a appointment or something like that, I manage that time on my own to ensure that I get to the appointment time. You're treated like an adult. And for those of us that are veterans, that you can be spoon-fed and micromanaged a lot in the military. It's just the nature of the beast. And then you come out here, that's why I'm so happy all the time, is because I'm so free. And I was even a senior leader in the military, and it was just like, I still didn't feel as free as I do out here on the road in trucking. And it goes even further than that. If you want to use your benefits and start a trucking company or start any kind of small business, you can do that and get government contracts. So even if you're in trucking and you want to get into government contracts and things, well, they have different tiers for minorities, for veterans, for disabled veterans, and for women to help you secure those government contracts. So, if you're sitting at home watching this and you're thinking about getting into trucking and you've served and you have a GI Bill of some sort, then, there's your answer. There's your way. There's your way to pay for that expensive CDL and go to school. And then while you're in school, they'll also pay you housing allowance for where your school is at. So there's a lot of perks out there for getting into trucking. You just got to pick the right company. If you want to come with my company, shoot me a message. I'll give you my information and who to talk to. But that's all I wanted to say about the veterans, man. Shout out to all the veterans, man. We've went through a lot. We've served our country. No matter how long or how short you served. You signed the dotted line. You did the prick of blood and they got your DNA. And some of us made the ultimate sacrifice. But there were some sacrifices that go unseen. Some of those mental sacrifices, some of those family sacrifices. And, you miss out on a lot of time. So so thank you. Thank you for your service. All right, peace.